This is the Ruckus and the Menace.
Challenge accepted.
No. Oh, no! We suck again!
I'm getting confused. What game are you calling?
I'm calling both games!
It is caught by Kelsey! Touchdown! Kansas City!
There you go.
There it is.
There's a winner.
Look at that.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you,
Hey guys, Ruckus always causing a ruckus here. I'm just coming on here to give a quick warning. The audio at times gets really echoey, and it's a bug that I caught while I was monitoring the levels on the episode, but I just didn't know if it was really going to affect it, but apparently it did, so sorry about that. But other than that, have a great rest of your week. Happy Thanksgiving. Eat some good food. Be safe, and we'll see you guys in episode 165 of Ruckus and The Menace.
Ruckus and the Menace fam, how's it going? You are tuned in to episode number 164 of the Ruckus and the Menace podcast. I'm Spenace the Menace.
And I am Ruckus, always causing a ruckus.
And on this episode, we get into the traditional Eastwood segment, our stud and dud of the week, a little bit of lights, camera, action, a power ranking involving Thanksgiving Day food.
Yummy.
Our traditional high heat, where we get to recap a little bit of week 12. Our color commentary, where we get to determine some legitimacy. Our film room, where there are a lot of points on the line because of college football rivalries. And we round third and headed for home. And Ruckus, I'm gonna say this: How you been over this past week?
Feeling good, because not only did my Chiefs win, but my Boomer Sooners won as well. Very happy about both fronts. And also, I just thought it was kind of cool just to see other randomness, like Arch Manning catching a touchdown.
We'll get to that.
But anyways,
we'll get to some significance of that. But other than for me, I will say this: it's been an interesting week. Last night with some friends, I ironically enough got back out on a bowling lane for the first time in years, and even with a house ball, you might want to watch out, because the old dog still got it. That I could get a house ball to move a little bit, move just enough for me to get it to function and crush the pocket.
Don't worry, I still need the bars that make it to where you can at least hit the middle of the fucking pins.
Oh, I hit pocket. Like, whenever I was hitting pocket, I could get a few times for it to flush out. And there were some, as far as some of the guys at the church, man, they were, like, there's some pretty solid bowlers amongst, like, the bunch. Like, everybody was nearly breaking 100 and keeping it consistently tough. And in the second game, I threw the high game scratch at everybody with a 183 with a house ball. Because one of the guys brought their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had a 183 with a house ball. Not my house ball record, but I have legitimately, I've thrown a couple 200s with a house ball. So, but that was back when I was in college. Arch is the first ever Longhorns touchdown player, or at least first ever Longhorns player to throw, catch, and run for a touchdown in the same game. And this was why you were talking that whole thing. And you almost wanted to do like a who did it better type of thing, because
Jameis Winston.
QB's doubling his wide receivers with Jameis Winston.
Yes, sir. And my coworker also reminded me of that, and I saw the video, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Go ahead, Spenace. Sorry.
I mean, but then also it's like, interestingly enough, you've had Jared Goff throughout the last couple of years. I mean, you had Nick Foles in the Super Bowl with
Yep.
with the Philly special, and that's big as well. And for that type of significance at Texas already, I still think that Arch Manning, in terms of development and playing in big time games and being able to perform well there, I think he needs to wait another year before making it to the NFL. But this is a sign that he's almost NFL ready.
Yeah.
The bad this week, unfortunately, involves the resilient Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as Baker Mayfield had to make an exit from Sunday night's game against the Rams. Granted that the Rams were working them, but Baker Mayfield suffers a low-grade shoulder sprain in his left shoulder against the Rams. They found out in an MRI that it was not as bad as what they thought. And I think they will be very cautious with Baker, especially as the potential for a playoff run for the Bucs still exists, and the Panthers are breathing right down their neck.
Yeah.
But I think the downright ugly this week goes to none other than the Las Vegas Raiders offense. That is all. I need to explain this.
Cheer up. Cheer up.
I was like, I need to explain a little bit of this here.
Cheer up.
The Las Vegas Raiders, who simply just couldn't get anything done. Chip Kelly, who was the highest paid coordinator in the NFL, has been handed his pink slip after 11 games.
It only took not wearing a headset to realize that.
It's just the rate. Like, you normally would say it's the Browns being the Browns. Nah, this is the Raiders being the Raiders. Or the Raiders making moves like the Cleveland Browns. And ironically enough, the team that ultimately was the final straw was the Cleveland Browns.
I was about to say, who has more turnover, the Raiders or the Browns?
Honestly, at this point, I think the entire NFL. I mean, starting quarterbacks, it has been between the Cleveland Browns and the Washington Commanders for a while.
And then in SpongeBob logic, it's, what's the difference?
What? In talking about... Wait. No, that's talking about Texas. But I think if you're kind of going into that whole, like, the Raiders trying to... Oh, look, I'm the Cleveland Browns. What's the difference? All right, let's move on to our stud and dud of the week.
Okay, sounds like a plan, Stan. All right, here we go. So for my stud this week, I have Jason Kelsey on Monday Night Football skit of Queen doing his
Bohemian
Rhapsody, but also doing his Mama just killed a man, but I'm gonna get his head.
Oh my goodness! I thought it was
super cute. I thought it was super cute.
How they got Ryan Clark to jump on board with this was
Scaramouche with Adam Schefter.
Oh, Adam Schefter was not surprising because Schefter seems to be that person that would be down for a lot of fun stuff.
But at the same time, he's a lot more serious, even though he did do the Kirko Chains thing back in the day. But, like, we don't talk about that because that was cringe as fuck. I think, I think he did a good job with this one.
Schefter is not afraid to commit to the bit. That is the biggest thing with Adam Schefter that has made him somewhat more charismatic, other than that he's probably one of the most notable football journalists. Although Ian Rappaport, I think, is very much, I think, more solid with his material. Schefter is pretty much the face of it.
Correct.
And then my stud this week is none other than Jahmyr Gibbs, lighting up the fantasy football scoreboards with a 219-yard rushing game, had 3 total touchdowns, and the 69-yard dagger on the first play of scrimmage in overtime to defeat the Giants,
Nice. By the way,
eliminating the
imagine.
Giants from postseason competition.
Could you imagine if Jahmyr Gibbs and Josh Allen went off at the same time? Do you imagine how many people would be mad that they were outscored by like 300 fucking points if it was Josh Allen and Jahmyr Gibbs at the same time? Like, that'd be like over and that would spread memes. That would probably break the internet. Who the fuck knows? But goddamn, whenever I saw
Now,
that
that
on
would be
my
scary. I think that's scary if you had them both on the same fantasy football team.
I know, that's what I'm saying, because I have Jahmyr Gibbs on my family league, but I have Josh Allen in my company team, and I'm just like, God damn. Like, around this time last year, Josh Allen was going scorched earth and just handing it to anybody that could get him the fantasy points. It's like, damn. That's why I was
Man,
like getting nostalgia with also just like the sheer fact of Jahmyr Gibbs just went scorched earth.
no, there was a guy in my in my 12 teamer. Get a load of who this guy had. And he is the leader in my division. He had Jahmyr Gibbs. He also had Wandale Robinson.
I have him in my league too.
Has Trey McBride. Had Borregalis, the kicker for New England, as he had an 18-pointer.
I
He
had
had the
Bucker.
Falcons' defense against the Saints, Kenneth Walker, Trey McBride.
Hmm.
I mean, beat the guy he played before his quarterback even took the field. And on the other side, he had Wilson from the Packers, Javonte Williams, Gainwell, and that was also because Lamar has been playing absolutely suboptimal.
Literally any other season though, to be honest, with Lamar.
I wouldn't say literally any other season, but I think that suboptimal Lamar has been winning games.
But does he actually get to the playoffs and get other than the Super Bowl? Still waiting on that. We've been waiting on Josh Allen for a while. So
Yeah. Maybe if a certain Chiefs football team decided to step aside.
not looking like anytime soon, my man.
I think it's gonna happen. I think I still am standing. I've already put it on wax that I'm saying that the Chiefs are. I think the Chiefs will miss. I said it last episode.
I feel
still
like
believe
50
it.
Cent. I feel like 50 Cent. I'm patiently waiting for something to happen, dude. Trust me. The Chiefs in my whirlwind, yes, or during Sunday's game was not family friendly. Let's say the least. I thought once Kareem Hunt fumbled that goddamn ball, I thought our season was over and I was going to be sad for a little bit, but then I was just like, you know what? Our team sucks this year. But instead, it turned into, oh, we won. Cool. We're staying alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. So,
And I don't foresee that being for too much longer.
keep dreaming.
I think that the next three are the Cowboys, which that's a toss-up at this point. The Texans, who are surging. And then there's still the Chargers, who currently just exist. But I think the team that is going to knock them out is going to make it also a rude Christmas for the Chiefs. And that is the Denver Broncos.
I think we're in win or die mode at this point with the Chiefs, because it seems like once there was an oh no point for the defense to stop to get another play for the offense was when Drew Tranquil just went apeshit and just got him for a loss, and that's how we got the ball back later. But anyways,
and we'll get a little bit more into that later. I know you were saying of your dud being the Chiefs in overtime.
Yeah, so my dud was really just, I'm salty that we didn't get a touchdown instead of a field goal to win the game. I would have wished for us to actually show, like, hey, we can still do it, but shit happens. You don't want to screw up the season. Like, I'm good that we won, but it was just not the way I wanted it to happen.
Yeah. And then my dud is Panthers safety Trayvon Moehrig for hitting 49ers wide receiver Jawan Jennings with a low blow, and it ended up resulting in Moehrig getting smacked at the end of the game by Jennings. And then because of the shot below the belt, Moehrig is suspended for a major game for the Panthers against the Rams. So Moehrig can't play. So on a side note here, we now will move on to our next segment called Lights, Camera, Action, where we get to kind of talk about what we've been watching and playing. For me, I have nothing new for watching this week yet. And the reason why I say that is because there will be the traditional Black Friday movie with my better half and I. And we know exactly what we're seeing. And I will get to talk about that next episode. But I did finish Dispatch. Game's good.
I'm waiting till like Christmas to get Dispatch, because I just don't know if someone's gonna get it to me. Other than that, like, I don't have anything else to add. Go ahead, Spenace. I apologize.
Game really is good. Kirby Air Riders, not bad. But I think the big one for me has been Hades 2. And Hades 2 is many stretching of fun. Like,
is it better than the first one, though?
I think it holds up. I think it holds up comparatively. I didn't play the first one, but at the same time,
I just want it to be a bandwagon game award thing where it's like, oh, if the first one was good, at least the second one should be even better. Like, I didn't want to judge that based off of that.
No, second one, I will say this. I've heard really great things about the first one. The second one took a lot of that and has made it even more unique. I think there's a lot of bells and whistles with the game.
For sure. That's why I was kind of wondering how you felt about it, because it just seemed like a complicated game.
Oh yeah, it's not simple, but I can tell you that all the major concepts of the game, it's like it's easy to learn the basics. It's once you get into those advanced techniques where it's the difficult to master. But every run will produce something a little different. Something that will stretch you. And and the different things that randomize in. I I personally have found I have found all the stretching and searching and little things in it to have their own unique fun to them. And next up, it's Thanksgiving. We definitely will wish you and yours a happy Thanksgiving as well, as
Yep.
this is our pre-Thanksgiving episode. But our power rankings involve something that is just as much near and dear to our hearts
A
as
cardinal
generally
sin
the
to
way
the
to.
Uber Eats. It's a cardinal
Well,
sin for Uber Eats to admit that they are trying to sell food during an NFL game.
I mean, but this is Thanksgiving Day food that we end up having around while we spend time with our families, and even, yes, watch some football.
It's like our riding dirty, but in a good way.
And they do say the way to a dude's heart is through his stomach, so or at least for me, the way to a foodie's heart is yeah, you got to make it good.
Yep, you
But our
gotta get
top
good and
5
fat.
Thanksgiving Day food items, and we will alternate.
Alright, so I'm just gonna go with number 1 first. I'm gonna say noodles because my grandmother's noodles, no matter whether it's my grandmother on my mom's side or my dad's side, they both make delicious noodles, and I praise them for that. It's literally egg noodles with some chicken broth and some other goodness, and it's amazing. I can't explain it any further than that, but I'll let you go number 1 for yours.
All right, I'm gonna count downward. Number 5 for me is the mashed potatoes. As
Ah!
it is a staple. Like, it is a staple.
Ah! Ah!
It's a staple. But I've got a couple of other really good staples up much higher.
He might as well just steal from me to the mashed potatoes.
Oh, you get a good gravy on a mashed potato. You get a good gravy on a
Oh
mashed potato.
God!
It's solid.
Steal from me to that with the gravy. Oh,
Yep. And then I knew your number 2 was pretty much as exactly as we're just talking about.
oh, mashed potatoes. Oh, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Oh, God
Oh,
damn
my
it!
number.
This is why I was thinking we should probably not have an episode this week, because I'll just get hungry in the middle of it.
Oh my. Number 4 for me is the pumpkin pie, and the biggest commandment with pumpkin pie is thou shalt have whipped cream on the top of it.
Dude, I'm always for the ham for some reason. I love the ham, I love the mashed potatoes, I love the noodles, but cheesy corn, oh, that just puts icing on the cake. It's so
And
good.
then my remaining items that I had, because you've kind of just ran through yours. I had the macaroni and cheese. I mean, you could do it baked.
That's the
You do whatever
goddamn
the what.
vibe. That's the vibe
But
for what I'm gonna do for Thanksgiving is I'm just
my
gonna
rhythm.
go nom nom.
But my family has a traditional recipe that my mother has that is more boiled than baked, and it is still good every time. It's a little more milky, but it's like real, like it's one of those really good family tradition type things. And then I had the stuffing, which that's carb overload, but at the same time it is like you throw the gravy on top of that and it's gonna make it really good too, especially when it's done right. And then I had the turkey.
I'm not really a turkey fan when it comes to Thanksgiving. It's just like really dry. I really like it as like more of like a deli style meat. relevant to anything, but
Yeah.
that's just me. But I love
And
ham just
then
how it is. It's just so good. Go ahead.
my also considered, I had the standard apple pie that pairs best with the warm apple pie. You complement that with a vanilla ice cream, or even an apple crisp at that point. Also complements extremely well with a vanilla ice cream.
I feel like we do like a cream pie and a pumpkin pie and then some type of German chocolate cake, but maybe I'm getting that mixed up with Christmas, but either
Well,
way,
Christmas always has like a, and then my oddball one that is it the rare tradition of venison. That's all that kind of started as
it's
something
not
I
it's not weird. I mean, it's not it's uncommon, but like I mean, my super what or my manager was talking about venison, and I feel like that's kind of common in the Midwest as far as like that goes as far as hunting. Like, so
yeah,
I
but
wouldn't
that
say
was
that's uncommon. Like, it is
but that
something that
one
happens.
I tried it a little more with college and had that actually be something that was like this is pretty good. I'll grab a I always grabbed a piece every year that I was there. Every year that I was there for it.
In Kansas, I think you can only hunt one deer a year or whatever it is, but like my supervisor was like, "Oh, I just had to hunt it because I was like, man, I knew if I didn't get this one, I probably wouldn't get anything." And I was like, "That sucks." But at the same time, like, hey, at least you got some
Yeah.
steaks and some other meat out of it. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know what a deer steak it tastes like, but I have tasted a little bit of venison. It's like a
Yeah.
finer ground beef.
It's gamey, but it's good.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then we now can move on to our high heat, where we get to recap week 12 of the NFL season. The teams on bye were the Broncos, the Chargers, Dolphins, and my Commanders. And the first game I will be talking about here is the Texans defeating the Bills 23-19. Oh no. 23-19.
Hold on, you gotta say it like this.
23-19.
Whoa, 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 whoa. And then he looks at the scanner thing and it shows a little sock
The
on the back of
sock.
him. And hey, like,
Yes.
no, no,
Uh, yeah,
no.
but my take on this for the Houston Texans is that the Texans are a streaking hot team right now, but this game here against the Bills was just the first of a couple real tests for them to see how good they really are. Over the next 2 weeks, the Texans have the Colts and the Chiefs.
Alan, you forgot to fill out your paperwork last week. Always watching. I figured you would like that.
Yep.
If you don't, I'm
Yep.
sorry, and that was cringy as fuck.
I caught where you were going with it. The next one I'm talking about here is the Seahawks defeating the Titans 30-24, and my take is actually on the Titans. And I think that Cam Ward is improving.
Good for him.
The wins may not show it.
Do you think it's like his Broncos moment with Mahomes whenever he had his rookie moment? Or
I
maybe
mean,
less than that?
it's a little more bad that I'm going to say that I think this is a little more like it's just he doesn't have a lot. Like, there's not a lot that he can do. Because, I mean, he's already had his first professional head coach get fired.
I mean, also, it's early as well for him, too, to be fair.
In his career, yeah. I mean, 2,200 yards already, 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. It is a very, I'm going to say statistically, it's a very quiet season.
Do you think if the Browns handled it this way, it would have been any worse?
What, you're talking with him versus Shador Sanders?
I'm just saying, if the Browns had ownership of Cam Ward, do you think they would have fucked it up worse than what Cleveland would have currently done with
Are you
their
talking Tennessee?
quarterback room?
Or are you
Think
talking
about
with Tennessee? Are
yeah,
you talking
because
the Cleveland quarterback room versus Tennessee's quarterback room?
right, because like Tennessee at one point had Ryan Tannehill and some other guys, but now they have Cam Ward, and that's probably about it. But like Cleveland Browns had Dylan Gabriel, they had fucking Joe Flacco, they
Deshaun
had
Watson's still around.
yeah, but no one really gives a fuck about him because he's kind of a piece of shit. But other than that, you had some other guys, but it's like, okay, well, with Cam Ward, it's like, how do you improve over that? But
I think Cam Ward, I do believe that I think he has gotten into a situation that I think will be ideal for him if the right coach comes along. If the
yes,
right coach comes along and maximizes the proper potential that he has. I just do not believe he is getting better, but I do not believe he has found his big set of potential just yet.
of course not though, because it's still like a welcome to the NFL moment, but also like, hey, like this is just how it's gonna be from now on
And
versus
and
what you're
ultimately
feeling now.
he entered Nashville with very little of a choice of saying he is automatically the guy.
Right. He didn't have the weapons readily available to him either. Like Calvin Ridley just came back and then just got hurt. So
He
it's
hurt
like
again, yeah. Oh yeah, get him. I
he did.
think that
It sucks
the
that like
Titans.
Derrick Henry also wasn't there, but also he got a better contract in Baltimore. So it's like, how do you confront that, or how do you come back to that if you don't know if your investment is going to come through? I feel like that's
I
what
think the
Tennessee
fun
was
part
waiting
for the
for.
Titans. The fun part here is that Tennessee, although they may potentially be the first overall pick, it would not surprise me if the Tennessee Titans also just build around Cam Ward. They're not quarterback desperate. There are some teams in this NFL right now that are quarterback desperate. And one of those teams definitely has to be the Las Vegas Raiders, the New York Jets. I think if Shador doesn't lock away the starting job, I think that Cleveland gets quarterback desperate. The Giants shouldn't be.
I feel like
The
Cleveland
Vi-
is always desperately asking for a quarterback because
I think the
their
Vikings. I think the
franchise
Vikings
is
look.
shit.
I think the Saints look. I think the Saints really look, and I honestly think the Cardinals should be looking. Yeah, the Cardinals need to cut bait with Kyler Murray stat.
I feel like they're still trying to cut bait with the contracts they owe to Josh Rosen and others too.
Well, that doesn't help. That doesn't help matters either, but that's beside the point. And I'm going to go I'm not going to talk about the Lions and Giants because I think it's pretty obvious that the Lions are in a rubber meets the road situation for them
I don't know
over
what
the
the
next
hell's
few
going
weeks.
on.
Oh, the Lions beat the Giants in overtime, but the Lions' next few games will tell a lot Because they have the Packers, Cowboys, Rams, and Steelers in their next 4. But the next one we're talking about here is the Chiefs and the Colts. I know Ruckus has already mentioned a lot, but I'm going to say for the Colts here, the nature of what goes up must always come down could very well apply to the Colts here. If they cannot keep this overachieving start up through the backstretch of games beyond the Chiefs. And then the Cowboys scoring 24 unanswered points against the Eagles. And I say, if fumbling the bag had a definition in terms of a football game, this was exactly what the Eagles did. They were up 21-0 and fumbled the bag. Literally.
Crazy things have happened, though, in the NFL.
No, and you want to talk about how literal that the bag was fumbled? Barkley and Xavier Gibson lost fumbles.
Oof.
Yeah. There were 2 fumbles lost by the Eagles, and both of them were costly. Because I believe in both instances, the fumble lost. The fumble loss that Barkley had, granted, didn't amount to much, but it gave the Cowboys good field position. And then the other fumble that occurred was Gibson on the punt return. The punt return that ultimately set the Cowboys up in better field position. Like, both of those fumbles set up in field position, but they were in drives where the Eagles could have put the game away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Eagles literally fumbled the bag. But now we move on to our next segment called The Fraud Alert. And the question here is, are some of these teams who look set for a winning season, do we think they're legit? Or is there some, or are they a fraud? The first team we want to look at here are the 10-2 New England Patriots.
I think they could be the real deal. I'm not going to rule them out as a candidate of fraud.
I'm going to say this based on some of the teams they beat. They beat the Bills once.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Bucks. So they've got a couple of really good wins under their belt. But I think it's just a sense that the Patriots have caught fire. They've truly bought into what Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels are doing. I think the real test will come with Buffalo and Baltimore. But I think the schedule softens up so much for the Patriots that this could be considered an overachieving schedule. But I think it will matter more once the playoff bracket is set. The rubber will meet the road once January hits for New England.
We'll just really have to see, though.
Yeah, they are possibly for real, but I think that their litmus test, they look like a team that has been tested a little bit, but I don't think tested enough to really say, like, this is exactly what
I feel like it's kind of like FOMO with when Josh Allen was first hitting his playoff career. Like, he didn't get there all the way yet because the Texans beat him with Deshaun Jackson. Or not Deshaun Jackson. Yep. You're welcome.
This is Watson.
Thank you.
Yep. I think the next team we talk about here is the Indianapolis Colts.
Frauds. If you can't win with Daniel Jones, then get the fuck out. That's what I say.
Well, prior to the loss to the Chiefs, the Colts did have some key wins. Granted, Denver, when they were still trying to climb, Denver hadn't hit their hot streak yet. They beat the Chargers, and they only lost by 7 to the Rams. Lost by 7 to the Steelers, and lost by 3 to the Chiefs. So some of those one-score games have not tailored into the Colts' favor. I think if they can't win I think that it's the same type of thing with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are now 1-5 in one-score games. If the Colts cannot win the majority of the one-score games that they have and win when it's tight, they're not going to go very deep. And their schedule for the closing 6 games that they have is brutal. You have 2 with Houston, 2 with Jacksonville, Seattle, and San Francisco. Nightmarish. And the Colts could lose every single one of them. They have the potential to lose every single one of them and play themselves out. The next team on the list is the Denver Broncos, the leaders of the AFC West. Are they for real or are they frauds?
I think they could be for real. I'm not going to pretend that they're not for real, to be honest. I think they have it, but it's more of just can they be consistent on offense rather than defense, because they kind of struggled on offense versus the Chiefs defense in the game at Mile High. So I'm just wondering, can they keep that up to the point where the Chiefs won't just find the weaknesses of the Broncos in a sense? That's all I'm going to say for now. Go ahead.
I think the Broncos are for real. They are a team that can win tough. They're a team that has found every single way to win. You want a big fourth quarter comeback? We got it. You want a big moment that we can play in and step up to it? We got it. You want a low-scoring game that we can win with our defense? We got it. Big moments to come through, kicker being clutch. We have that too. So I think the Denver Broncos have a case of being able to win in any fashion possible. And they have shown that they're battle tested. They beat Philly. They beat Philly. They beat Dallas. They beat Houston. And they have a victory over Kansas City. I think they're battle tested enough. For real. The next team we're talking about is the Bears.
Honestly, I feel like it's too early to say, really, but at the same time, like, you could say that for the rest of the ones we have, but I feel like, if honestly, I'd be impressed if they get any further than they have been so far.
I think the Bears are ahead of schedule, but I think they are frauds. I'm going to say frauds. Because they're going to play Philadelphia on Black Friday. And the brakes will be beat off of them. They're going to play Green Bay, who I think are frauds. Will win that. They'll get through Cleveland. They'll probably get through Green Bay and probably split that head-to-head. They'll lose to San Fran. I think they'll lose to San Fran and Detroit. So I think that they are like they show legitimacy, but for right now, I've got the fraud. I've got the fraud alert on them, and that will also apply to the Green Bay Packers as well. That I think they're frauds. They're the youngest team in the NFL, so I think they have the most development still to go. The next team we're going to talk about is the Seahawks. Are the Seahawks for real? I mean, we know the Rams are. But do the Seahawks carry the same DNA?
I don't feel like they do carry the same DNA.
This team in Seattle has an incredible defensive identity. They have a quarterback who, regardless of whatever mistakes he makes, the team will fight and not quit and stay with it. They have Jackson Smith and Jigba, who has pretty much been the number one wide receiver in the NFL this year. They have a schedule that kind of lightens up a little bit before they play the Rams and 49ers in the backstretch along with Indianapolis. I think the Seahawks are for real. And they have a great chance to really maximize the potential that Darnold has picked up over the last couple of years. I think Darnold right now, as far as reviving his NFL career, has really started to take off. And it's pulling much a thing that took him a little bit longer than Baker Mayfield, but at the same time, Darnold's getting it going.
I agree.
The next team is the Chargers. Are the Chargers for real or fraud?
I feel like, for what it's worth, I think that it is a yin and yang effect with the Chargers. I don't want to say like up front whether it's the offense or defense, but I feel like for the most part it's the offense because they learned a lot from Coach Harbaugh with the short throws on offense. Like that's really helped them besides just running the damn ball, but that's how I see it
I
from
think
the
the
first
health
game.
of the offensive line, I think, is what ultimately has hurt the Chargers.
That too.
And that is why I will say the Chargers are kind of one of those teams that I think they're legit when healthy. They're legit when healthy. And I think the rubber meets the road for them on the backstretch of the year because of their divisional matchups.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we get to talk about the Carolina Panthers. Are they for real or are they frauds?
I think time will tell.
I think we don't decide on Carolina yet because I think they are still a little bit of a mixed bag. This is still very new for Carolina right now, kind of getting back into a sense of feeling comfortable winning.
Yep.
I believe the Panthers are taking a step in the right direction, but I believe it is not the right time to really talk whether or not they are for real or fraud.
Yep.
Simple at. And now we get to talk the film room. And last week I picked up a little bit more space again, as it is now a 16-point lead for me here as I lead 79-63 over Ruckus. But it is rivalry week in college football. And we get to pick some games. And our first one that we will have in college. Georgia versus Georgia Tech. Clean, old-fashioned hate. And both of these teams, well, they're ranked.
Yo, dogs.
I'm going to take the dogs as well. The Lone Star Showdown with ranked Texas A&M and Texas.
I'm going horns up.
I'm going to horns down again and say gig 'em. Texas A&M. Ohio State and Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a bit for Ohio State to kind of really like get over the hump because they haven't really played well against Michigan over the last few years. But I think if they have the receivers healthy for this matchup and they play well, I'm taking the Buckeyes here. A rivalry in the state of Tennessee. Tennessee versus Vanderbilt. Who you got?
I have Tennessee.
I'm actually going to take the Commodores here and Vanderbilt. And now the Iron Bowl. Roll Tide, War Eagle. Which one are we saying?
I'm going to say Auburn. To a
You're
War
gonna go
Eagle.
War Eagle, yep. Not me. Alabama, Roll Tide. And then last but not least, the Egg Bowl. Ole Miss and Mississippi State.
I'm going to go with Chris Jones's Almar and go Mississippi State. Get that hot cocoa.
I'm going to go with the alma mater of Archie and Eli Manning.
Mm-hmm.
And also AJ Brown. Read a book, people. Hotty toddy. Ole Miss. And the NFL, we're going to do all 3 Thanksgiving Day games starting in the early afternoon with the Packers and Lions.
I'm going to pick Lions because I feel like they're going to get it.
I'm going to take the Lions as well. Chiefs and Cowboys.
How about those Chiefs on Thanksgiving?
Out of principle, I have no choice but to. Chiefs. And the Bengals and Ravens.
I think the Ravens are going to beat the Bengals' ass.
I think the Ravens are on a hot streak right now.
I don't think Burrow's
Lamar may
going to
be
help
playing
them.
suboptimal, but they're winning football games.
I don't think Burrow's going to help them, though.
The Eagles and the Bears. Who you got?
I had the Bears because I feel like the Bears have a better edge over the Eagles right now.
Eagles. Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles. They're going to bounce back. Here. The Texans and Colts.
I have the Texans because I feel like the Texans have a better defensive line over the Colts.
I think the Texans are rolling right now. I'm going to ride the hot hand. The Texans. The Rams and the Panthers.
I think the Panthers have a better opportunity than the Rams right now as far as just their momentum.
Bruh, the Rams are the best team in the NFL right now. I'm taking the Rams here.
We'll see.
They are the number 1 team in the NFL right now. No questions asked. The Steelers versus the Bills.
I'm going to take the Bills.
Especially if Aaron Rodgers misses. I'm taking the Bills as well. And now we round third and head for home. And what are your thoughts about Randy Johnson getting his jersey number of 51 retired by the Seattle Mariners this upcoming baseball season?
Good for him, and I'm very happy for him. The unit
I'm really
is
happy about that. I'm really happy about that as well. I mean, granted that he went into the Hall of Fame as a Diamondback, but I still feel like there's a lot of respect for him as a Mariner as well. And the Mariners are not afraid to show that.
I mean, if there's money in
And
it,
I mean,
then there's that too. Because like, if there's money in it and they wanna put that in there to like go show significance for that team, so be it. Like that's just how it works.
oh, and then on top of that, I think you also have that he did play as himself in Little Big League with the 51 in Seattle because Arizona was not a baseball team yet.
Yeah.
And our first thoughts on a couple of major trades. Marcus Simeon to the Mets for Brandon Nimmo, and then Sonny Gray going to Boston. I'm pretty sure I'll let you talk about the first one and I'll talk about the second.
Honestly, I think the Nemo for Simeon was kind of like a yin and yang kind of trade where it's like Nemo went from a New York team to a Texas team, whereas Simeon went to a New York team. We'll just see what happens. Honestly, I'm not too worried about it, but I just thought it was interesting that early on in the MLB offseason that kind of trade would happen, but here we are. Um, the Sonny Gray trade
Oh,
I
I was
thought
going to
was
talk about that
interesting,
one here. I
but
like this
go
deal.
ahead.
I do like this deal. And what's interesting is that Sonny Gray was willing to waive his no trade clause with St. Louis to say, "Yeah, it's time for me to move."
It makes
And
sense because the
he gets a
Cardinals.
good no, and he gets a good destination too. But I'm also saying that with that, he also gets a very good destination in going to Boston.
Right.
And I mean, all they traded away were a couple of prospects that weren't super high on Boston's radar.
Yep.
But at the same time, I think that Sonny Gray will complement Garrett Crochet as a premier lefty with a premier righty. It'll make the Red Sox look a little better. Gray is older, but I think Gray will still be able to find his stuff.
I think he's gonna be the next Rick Porcello in a good way, like someone that can fill that starting pitching depth if they need it, like especially like if it's like back end, because like they have Garrett Crochet, like you were saying.
Oh, I think
They,
Gray's more on the front end. He's going to be a front end starter in Boston.
I think you back him up a little bit because he's older, but at the same time, like
Well, he's
you
not the
back.
one.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I think you back him up a little bit more because he's older and you can probably fit in another player that would be number two
I
just to,
mean,
like, build him up. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, Bayo's already there. I think Bayo's already there.
Right.
If he
That's,
moves up into the 2 slot, I mean, Gray's the 3. And then you have Gio there at the 4.
again, that's what I was trying to put in there.
Yeah, it bolsters up a rotation that has had some holes. And on that note, I think we wrap it up here. This will do it for episode number 164 of the Ruckus and the Menace podcast. I'm Spenace the Menace.
And I am Ruckus, always calling the Ruckus.
And until the next one, hugs and hand pounds, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Deuces.